The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storylines with Nick Eatman.
What is up? Welcome to the final Cowboys storyline of training camp here in Oxnard. We're going to go out on a bang here with Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott will be joining us. Very confident about this. Dak will be joining us here in the second segment. That's why we're not going to take a whole lot of time here. In the first, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to do the storylines. Now remember, this is the final show here at camp. When we go back to the Star, we got a brand new podcast that looks beautiful there, podcast studio. Man, I can't wait to get in there, and that's where we're gonna do our show. It'll be live. It'll be in the morning, and it's gonna be a 30-minute show. We're gonna get in and out. We're gonna get the fans to call. We're gonna get some text messages. We're gonna get tweets, all that. Definitely gonna be a fan show. Not as much players, so we wanted to capitalize out here with the timing situation we had to make sure we got players, and we've had some good ones. And this week, I mean, we've ended strong with Zach Martin yesterday and getting Dak today. So, all right, let's look at the storylines of camp today, and also maybe just kind of a big picture look. I will say one of the things that they had to walk through this morning, running back Ronald Jones, he's been dealing with a groin injury. He got back into work a little bit there. I'm not sure if he's going to be ready to play in this next game, but he probably would be available for the final preseason game against the Raiders, and that's big for him. He needs to kind of show what he can do before the season starts. He's going to have a 2-game suspension. So, you know, does he stay in the mix here? He kind of needs to get back and put some good reps up there. Obviously, some other running backs are trying to be chomping at the bit as well, Deuce Vaughn being one of them. What happens with Deuce? Does he play more this week? Mike McCarthy said after practice, he was talking with reporters, that he does expect there to be a different rotation of running backs. Now, he says it doesn't matter who's playing early, late, none of that matters. And I even asked him, I said, even if Seattle's playing their starters, and he said, well, you do evaluate who you're playing against, but it sounds like they're going to just rotate these guys in and out throughout the game. So you're going to see some Rico Dowdle, you'll see Malik Davis, Hunter Lipke, and of course you're going to see Deuce. And so that'll be good to see these running backs. I think everybody wants to see Deuce Vaughn earlier in the game. They just want to see him in general. He's fun to watch. But also earlier, maybe against better competition and also with better competition as well. That's one thing that fans we talked about this last week. One of the things that you kind of forget is that, well, if you're playing against backups, but you're also playing with backups. If you're playing against third-teamers, you also have third-teamers blocking for you. So it kind of all goes hand in hand. But running backs are going to be something we're definitely going to watch. Quarterbacks, Will Grier. I mean, they only have 3, and one's not playing unless he's going to tell us differently here in a little bit. But Dak is not going to be playing. We're going to ask him, though, if you'd like to. Not that matters if he wants to play or not. They are not going to put him out there. But especially in Seattle, if you remember, I think the last starting quarterback to play in the preseason. This is probably not right because I think Dak has played some preseason snaps. But I know Romo played in Seattle, and it was his last preseason game he ever played. He got hurt, and that's what opened the whole door for Dak. And I think that game kind of changed the philosophy a little bit, big picture-wise, as it should. I mean, the last thing you want to do is lose any key player to an injury and just to try to get a few reps. It's just, at the end of the day, it's absolutely not worth it. I'll take a quarter and a half of being rusty in week 1. We saw it last year. Tampa Bay, that team looked really rusty in week 1, but they won, 5 in a row after that. So, and they were relatively healthy. So, you'll take that. As for the quarterbacks, though, I mean, I think same thing. Cooper Rush starts, plays quarter, maybe quarter and a half. Will Grier comes in and takes it the rest of the way. So good opportunity for Will Grier. I thought he played pretty well last week, but he had some moments, good and bad. He needs a little bit more consistency. He'll get that opportunity against Seattle. All right, we're going to take a break here. Going to get Dak in here. And then on the third segment, we're going to kind of break down all of camp. We're going to have some top 10 all Oxnard team. I'm going to give my list, and we'll also answer questions as well. So we're going to take a break. Cowboy Storyline. We'll be back with Dak Prescott.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Welcome back, Cowboy Storyline here, and as promised, all camp. I've been telling you, I'm looking forward to this. Finally got him, Dak Prescott. Man, Dak, thanks for joining us here. Last day of camp. How's it feeling? Just to finally get to this finish line here.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I don't want to call it a finish line. We're just getting started. So we're just through lap one, I guess you can say, for the most part. It's been a joy always being able to come out here to Oxnard. The people, the volunteers, the fans, they treat us great. Amazing weather.
Yes.
It's going to be tough to leave this weather, honestly. Headed back
that
to
was the finish line. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
the finish line of the weather.
Yeah, well, I'm not excited about the heat back
Right,
in Texas, but it's a blessing just being out here. Year 8. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great camp. Can wrap it up with a lot of confidence and knowing we did some good things out here.
What has been some of those good things? Like, if you specifically, you're like, man, when we came here, I feel better about this than I did before.
Yeah, I mean, just the direction of this offense. Obviously, with the coaching changes, wondering exactly which way we're going to go with this thing, how Mike's going to call it, and just having the players that we have, adding Brandon Cooks, the personnel, being able to use Turp and some of these guys more. Just the way we finished yesterday. It wasn't a great day. Necessarily scoring, but if you go back and look at that tape, a lot of things that we've been working on came to fruition yesterday, and so it's a great way to just wrap up training camp. As I said, I'm excited about the direction we're headed, a lot of confidence in myself, where my game is, and just as much as where this offense is and what we can do as a team. It's been a true iron sharpen iron. I mean, you saw the intensity and the passion showing full effect yesterday, and when you have two great units that believe in themselves, that's what you're going to get, and a lot of confidence is flowing throughout the group, and so yesterday was a testament to that.
One of the things, being the quarterback, you've said it so many times, being quarterback is obviously different. It's a different role, offense versus defense, but you're the one that grabs Micah Parsons and talking to him after, punches were thrown. Is it kind of a tough role for you to say, at some points I have to kind of be above both of them, and I'm the leader of this team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what's up, Coach. Yeah, that's my role. That's my role, and that's my job. Honestly, is just to bring everybody together, understanding that I encourage a lot of it. I mean, going back to the trash talking, going back to just feeding into the passion of the game and trying to get the most out of your teammates. But at the end of the day, we are on the same team. So when it feels like it's getting ready to cross a line, or you see punches thrown, it's important just to go grab those guys. Understand, hey man, like I broke my thumb last year, and that's all it takes is for you to break a finger, break a thumb, and now you're putting this whole team in jeopardy and everything we've worked on and built. So that's what that conversation's about. Is I understand the passion, I understand the iron sharpen iron and all the emotions in it, but at the end of the day, we go back into the same locker room. We're all family, we're brothers. Right. So as long as we leave it on the practice field and nobody gets hurt doing it, it's fine. And that's what those conversations are about. And I enjoy being able to pick at the fire, but at the same time, knowing that these guys are going to listen and bring everybody together.
Well, when we started, I was going to ask you if you were ready, but if you were ready, like what does that come from? We hear it before every snap. Where did that kind of originate?
What's that?
The ready right before the snap.
Yeah, I mean that's the cadence. You know, I don't want to give away too much. I mean, there's a lot of cameras and there's so much sound these days.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's taking any photos or videos of camera. No one's heard that.
Yeah,
You're right.
I mean, I get it, but in the same sense, that's it's just great for us to just get off on the same page. And honestly, I'll use it to our advantage as well, understanding that everybody knows that. But yeah, that's just something within the football.
All right, I've got some fan questions before we get to that. Jalen Tolbert's a guy a lot of people have been talking about. It feel like Brandon Cooks really helped him as well, but he's done it on his own as well. What have you liked the most out of Jalen Tolbert?
Yeah, so much improvement. I think it starts from the neck up. I mean, you look at a guy last year that didn't get on his field the way that he planned to, and I think that hurts your confidence. I mean, I say it all the time that at this level, this game is about 90% confidence. A lot of guys and almost everybody can do it, but it's who believe they can do it, who believes they're better, who believes that they're taking the next step and getting better. And we've seen that so much in Tolbert just this camp. And as you said, it's credit to Cooks, but it's just as much credit to this team, this offense, to the coaching staff, and the most credit goes into him. I mean, he's the one that had to look himself in the mirror and go to work and really just take everything in, and it's really shown this training camp, and he's made huge steps, huge stride, and a guy that we expect to contribute this fall.
I know he was one of the Dak Yard participants. I asked fans, I was like, send some questions to Dak, and the first one was, what are the food that they serve at the Dak Yard? Does he have any snacks? And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're there to work.
Yeah,
first,
is eating even part of it? Okay.
Yeah, we're there to work
All
first,
right.
so you should have your
I got
appetite,
better questions than that.
Your appetite full, but every now and then Chef Hop does come in and have a little a little post-practice snack.
Brett Bender, his question is, Dak as a veteran quarterback, it's a challenge. Is it a challenge to adjust to a new play caller, new system, new receivers?
No, I mean, it's been fun. So, I mean, sure, there's a little bit of challenge in that, but I'm a guy that's always embraced any challenge in life, on or off the field, and having this one on the field, it's and in the classroom, I guess you can say, it's been very stimulating just to get coach's mind as a play caller, to understand why he's calling plays. Something huge we talk about is the play caller's purpose and what he expects out of a play. So it's been fun. And then the new receivers, I mean, you got to give credit to guys like Brandon Cooks, who are true professionals, who expedited that process just with the way that they approach the game, their knowledge of the game, and honestly their talent. So it's been a great challenge, if you call it that I've accepted, and we're striving right now, thriving in it.
This question's from Mike Gray, and it said, and I don't know how you feel about this term, but he said, do you feel like you can be a little bit more conservative with a defense like that, maybe even a bus driver? I personally have never thought that was a bad term. I don't know what you think about that, but just basically more of a conservative approach because you know you have a nasty defense.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question, and a lot of times in this game people say he's a manager, and that gets a lot of knock, as you're saying, and that's not necessarily, and that's understanding what team you have, understanding the players you have, and to answer his question, yeah, sure, at times. I mean, I've gotten so confident in my game and my ability. That's something I've worked hard on. But in the same sense, understanding that you've got the defense, is that, yeah, it's okay to punt the ball in certain situations because, hey, they're going to give you the ball back in three plays or less with the way that they make turnovers. So, yeah, it's important for me to understand the flow of the game, I think, as much as anything, and when to really test that risk versus reward. But in the same sense, to be aggressive in my own style with as well as Mike's calling the game, and I think that's something that we are always in communication about, is what he expects from a play and when I'm supposed to test it. And I think a lot of times the plays have those options within them.
All right, how about this one from Jake Benoist? He's got a two-part question. You can pick which one you want. The first one is, which division foe do you like beating the most? The second one is, which place do you like to fish all time? I would imagine it's probably going to be easier for you to pick that one than to say which division team you like to beat the most.
Yeah, I mean,
I have some records here as well.
Yeah,
they're all tough. They're all
everybody's tough for sure. That's the cliche answer, and I mean it is true. When you're playing the teams in your division, you play them twice. You get to see them at home, but then you got to go to their stadium. So for me, honestly, it's probably Philly, but more so just because of the environment and because of the fans. I mean, it's a great place to play football. That's where passion is at its peak. And to go into there and to get a win and just to battle with those guys has always been fun over my career. And I guess if you look at the records, that hadn't been the easiest one of them. So
8-3.
Yeah,
Philly. Maybe not at Philly, but 8-3.
Yeah,
you didn't play him last year in Philly.
I didn't, and that was really one of those times that I realized the significance of this stadium and the passion and just the energy that flows within it, and it's a special place. So I'd probably put them there. But you said, I mean, all of them, and it's great to get a win against all of them and anybody in this league, it being hard. And honestly, the harder question is, where's my favorite place to fish? I just love being on the water, and obviously every different place offers different fish to catch and a different way to do it. So that's fun as well.
All right, and the last one, Mark Bristow. Would Dak prefer to get a few preseason plays and series in, especially with the new offense? Prefer, or do you understand?
I mean, I understand. I understand where our team is, what the coaches and what the front office they expect and what they want, and that's their decision at the end of the day. But I'm one of the guys that I love this game. I love to play this game. It's tough for me to always watch guys suit up and take the field and me not be a part of it. So to say that, I mean, I would always enjoy it, but am I getting out there with the same group that I'm going to play with come week one? Who knows? So that's not necessarily my decision. Leave it up to the people that do. And for me, it's just about supporting these guys and making sure the guys that are going to contribute and have a chance to help this team in the fall really understand that we support them, that we need them, and that we're going to push them. And so for me, it's about driving the energy bus. And honestly, just to go on top of that is, when you see practice yesterday or you just see the way that we practice, it's very game-like as it is. So I feel like I'm getting preseason game reps just against our defense, and I don't think there's a better opponent to play than our guys.
And one would say you're getting ready for the Giants mentally, but what we saw last week, you are getting the team ready for Seattle, the guys that are playing. It doesn't seem like you've put that focus just yet. You understand what's happening right here in front.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it comes to the film watching and really studying an opponent, I guess I can say that I've been looking at week one and doing everything that I can this early to prepare and to kind of get a beat on what they're doing. But in the same sense, I said, it's driving the energy bus for these young guys. I mean, I can't say I'm dialing into the defense of the Seahawks, but more importantly, really challenging our guys to know what they're doing and to be in the right place and understand the whole entirety of our offense to make sure that they're playing their best and they're playing at full speed when they get out there and play whoever it is.
Well, thank you so much. I know you're an extremely busy guy, and I really appreciate you stopping by.
Of course, thank you.
All right, QB1, that's Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. We'll be right back on Cowboys Storyline to finish the show.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Last segment here on Cowboys Storyline. Last one of the show. Last one of Oxnard. As I said earlier on, we're going back to the Star. And when we go back to the Star, as I see Chris Beam praying to the heavens up here, he's the producer. He's excited. He's been the man. This show doesn't happen, but obviously without Chris, and I really appreciate him. But how cool was that, getting that Dak Prescott finally? And I say finally because it's, I've been hoping. We thought maybe a couple weeks ago it might happen, and the busiest guy in the world. Everybody, when they come to training camp, everybody wants to get an interview with Dak. I mean, that's just the most important thing. And I get it, I understand it. I'm the same way. I wanted him on the show. But for me, I got Zach Martin and then Dak last 2 days. So. Shout out to them and also our Cowboys public relations staff for really helping and be dedicated to getting some good guests for this show. We're trying to get it off the ground, so I appreciate them, Chris, and of course, obviously the fans here. This is a fan show, and I got some great questions here. I did ask some to them earlier. Got a ton more, and I apologize I couldn't get to all of them there. I picked a few though that maybe I could also answer. I know I'm not Dak. Not trying to say next best thing or anything like that, but there were some interesting questions that I wish we could have asked Dak that maybe I can weigh in on as well. Again, not saying that it's the same, but let's get to some of those. Dealing with a glare issue here. All right, Matt Holleran. He says, Dak, what is your best throw of your NFL career? That would have been a good question for him. I would have liked to have seen that. He had a good one here at camp a few weeks ago and dropped it right in there for Semi Fehoko. Dropped it. But still a great throw. To me, the throw that I always remember is the one where it goes against what the purists say. You're rolling left. You're not supposed to be throwing back across your body. And if you are, don't throw it 40 yards down the field. But it was against the Giants in 2018, maybe. Yeah, regular season finale. Wasn't even supposed to be playing in the game because it didn't matter. The game didn't matter. They're already in the playoffs. But they didn't play Zeke, but they played Dak. And they were down by 7 late in the game. It's like 4th and 15, and he rolls left. He probably could have gotten the first down. It would have been tough. But he decided to throw it to Cole Beasley in the back of the end zone. And Beasley initially looked like it was an incomplete pass, but he got a knee down. 1 knee equals 2 feet. He made the catch. They overturned it, and they called it a touchdown. And then they went for 2 and won the game, I think 36-35. That, to me, was Dak's best throw because he rolling left, throws it down the field, touchdown. I'm sure he's had some other great ones, but that one, I'm going to say that one was my favorite. So I'll answer for that one. Another question from Magneto. He was asking Dak. Ask him who will catch his first TD of the regular season. See, it's easy. You could say, CD's going to do it, or Cooks. It'll be somebody like Hendershot, or Tony Pollard maybe, It'll be somebody kind of different. I'm not going to say it'll be a receiver. I wouldn't go with CD on that one. I'm going to say give me somebody that you wouldn't expect. Ferguson or Hendershot. Let's go with Ferguson there. All right. Jose Rodriguez was asking QB1. He said for the 2 playoff games against San Francisco, what do you feel was missing the most? What needed in order to win those games? 2 different games, for sure. They didn't have any juice to start with. I think that's the answer actually to both, though, is juice. Playmakers. They were kind of stifled by that defense. First both games, really, especially at the end when Pollard got hurt last year and there was really nobody else other than CD. You just didn't have any other guys making plays, and I think that's why Cooks is here, and I think that's why they're hoping that Tolbert can do some stuff. That's why they drafted Deuce Vaughn, thinking that he could maybe be another guy in here, just another speedy, quick playmaker. They weren't better than the 49ers in the first game. They were, messing around at the end, had a chance. They've still, didn't deserve to win that one. But the second game, they didn't have a kicker. And I think that was a huge part of the game. Is they not only did you miss an extra point, but you had no confidence that you could make anything. So then at that point, everything you had to score, and you had to score touchdowns. And meanwhile, the other guy was making kicks, Robbie Gould. Interesting. Robbie Gould was making kicks. Interesting. All right, Chase Dyer. He said, what's McCarthy like that the fans don't get to see? Obviously, you'd like to hear Dak answer that. That was a question for Dak. But as media guys, we get to see a little different side of Mike every now and again. And I just think he's just a cool guy that could probably sit around and, drink a few beers and, talk about the game and, just tell some jokes. I mean, just a dude. That's what I think. That's kind of what I think of him. He's got to do it a certain way in front of cameras and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, for the most part, what you see is what you get. But yeah, when he gets to just kind of let the hair down a little bit, I mean, he's a different guy. So just like everybody. All right. I think that's all the Dak questions here. I had another one for me. Joe Simpson. Yeah, he says, your show is getting better each episode, Nick, and I really appreciate it. Thanks, Joe. His question is, will C.J. Goodwin make this roster? I don't see how he can. It's not a Cowboys storyline if you don't ever get this question about C.J. Goodwin. I love C.J. Goodwin, by the way, one of the coolest guys on the team. I really like him a lot. I think he's a really good player, and I would disagree that there's no way he can make it. Or he didn't say that. He said he doesn't see how he could make it. I think he can make it. I think he's a gunner. I mean, I just think he's a guy who can play all your special teams. He's here for that reason. They re-signed him. So I think he makes it. No, somebody younger and cheaper is going to have to come in here and just be way better than him. And then also play some other spots on defense or offense or whatever, and I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Goodwin is solid in all of the areas. He's not making a ton of money. I mean, he's a veteran minimum. I think he makes the team. Honestly, I think they even view him as the fourth specialist: kicker, punter, deep snapper. C.J. Goodwin, I really do. So I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think he makes the team. All right. Got a few more minutes here. One of the things I wanted to do to kind of wrap it up, you'll see tomorrow on the website, DallasCowboys.com, you're going to see an all Oxnard team or final best players of camp. And we'll have our top 10. So I'm asking some of the guys and girls that have been here all of camp watching practice to give me their best guys. And they did. We've got some rolling in. We're going to put that together. But I thought I would share mine. This is what I think, top 10, not overall, not 10 players on the team, because Zach Martin would be in there, but this is just your Oxnard guys, not even in the preseason game, guys that we've seen out here on these fields. So I gave my list, and I have some honorable mentions. I did put Deuce and Damone Clark honorable mention. Again, this is Oxnard stuff. We really saw Deuce do more in the game, and I can't wait to see him in the next one. All right, so I'll go through the list here. Number 10 for me, I put was Jalen Brooks. And he's fallen down just a tad. Again, everything has got to be – I mean, he has been really, really good. He's been a huge surprise. But he's still going up against the backups sometimes and getting the backups thrown to him. And he's made every opportunity he can. He's got a little bit of a wall, maybe a back injury too, slowed him down. But I think just – because of expectations and all that, he makes the list. I put him number 10. Number 9, I'm going to go with Deron Bland. I thought Bland's had a really good, strong camp. There's some that believe that he has a chance to be one of the better maybe the better corner on the team. He's the third guy right now, and he's getting to learn behind some really good ones than Diggs and Gilmore. But I thought Deron Bland has been the way he competes. He gets interceptions. He gets his hand on the ball. He's been really, really good. All right, number 8, I'm going to go with Jalen Tolbert. Again, expectations thing, but a lot of pressure on him. See, it's not the same as Brooks. There's no pressure on Brooks. I mean, sure there is. I mean, if not, you don't make the team. But pressure's on Jalen Tolbert to go and perform. And I think he's not only hit some expectations that he would be better, but he's exceeded those. I have him 8th on my list. All right, 7. Hard to do for linebackers, but Leighton Vander Esch has been really good, and he also is playing some different stuff. They got him rushing off the edge a little bit. He's flying around the ball, doing some things. He's been a leader to the Damone Clarks of the world and some of the other ones. I really like what I'm seeing out of Leighton Vander Esch. I'll put him number 7 on my list here. All right, number 6, I go with CD. CD is, I don't know if CD's the 6th best receiver in the NFL. I think he's probably better than that. I think he's top 5 for sure. But just out here at camp, he's been good. He's had an interesting camp, probably more interesting than you'll even know. But for him to go and make some of these plays, he's been really strong, consistent. Love what we're seeing out of him. I think he has a chance to have even a better season, which was hard to do. 2nd team All-Pro. All right, number 5, I went with Trayvon Diggs. You could make an argument, and there's going to be some arguments that he's better than that. He's been good, great actually, very tough to beat, very competitive. And the thing about it is that he brings the level of competition up. All that mess you want to talk about him and Dak, it helps. When you take it to the field. So I put him number 5 on the list. Number 4, Dak. He's been really good. Okay, there's been some picks here and there. Okay, there's been some touchdowns. I mean, that's what it is. He's been really good. We expected him to be really good. He has been that. I got him number 4 on my list. Number 3, again, tough to do for any kind of offensive lineman. But Tyler Smith just looks different this year. This looks like on a different level. You're not beating him on things. His strength is just off the charts. He's been outstanding in one-on-one drills, team drills. I think he could kick out to tackle right now if they needed him to. But I think he's finding a spot here at guard, and we'll see in the next year or two if they want to push him out there and play him at tackle. His agent will probably want that because that'll give him more money, I would imagine. But I kind of think his home is an inside and guard just because of the strength, and I want to see how it translates to the game. But he's been really good, so good that it's hard to pick a guard for camp, the top campers. But that's how good he's been. Number 2, I go with Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has been what we wanted to see from this team, what I've wanted to see from a speedster for a long, long time for this offense, and he delivers that. But he's brought so much more to the table. He's also been a leader. Jalen Tolbert's not on this list, probably without Brandon Cooks. That's what I love about a guy that's he's secure about himself and his role to lend a hand and his experience to the other guys, knowing that if I can make this guy, and this guy better, we're all going to be better. And that's it. That takes some experience to kind of learn how to do that. So he's been great, though, and I think that he's a perfect complement to this Texas Coast offense, West Coast offense, whatever. He's got these underneath routes that's really going to be tough for the defense to stop, but he's got some home run hitting abilities as well. Number 1, Micah Parsons. He's been really good. Can't block him. Nobody can block him here, and I don't necessarily think it's a problem just yet with the tackle situation. I mean, we'll see over time, but he's just had little one-on-one meetings with the quarterbacks every single time. It just seems like he just gets off the edge and just sits there. Do they want to stop the play, blow the horn, and say, okay, sack, or do they want to let the play go through? But he could have disrupted practice more if they would have stopped the play more. That's how much he has disrupted practice. He's been that good, that tough to block, and he's ready to go. Let's just don't break your hand hitting anyone in the face mask or anything like that. As Dak said, don't do that, But he's been very, very, very tough for anyone to try to block and corral. And think about this, Dan. This isn't anything special. This is just running defense. They're not really doing a ton of the things that they'll probably do in the games. He's just rushing off the edge. I don't think I've seen him rush in the middle of the line. Most of the time, he's coming off that left edge against the right tackle. Most of the time, but he goes back and forth there too. But just nothing exotic, and that's when you know it's going to be really dangerous. Hadn't seen a ton out of linebacker out of him. Just seeing him rush the passer, and I haven't seen anyone block him. So that right there would be number one. All right, well. That's going to do it for us. We're gonna wrap it here in training camp in Oxnard, California. It's been fun, guys. I'll be honest. I didn't know what to expect with this new show. I really didn't. I didn't know how it was going to go, and it's still new, and it's still going to be new when we get back. But I love the feedback so far. I'm getting more comfortable, so bear with me there. But I appreciate it, and when we get back into the studio, I think it'll be even more comfortable, even though it won't have anyone around. But I think I'll have you guys, and you guys will call, and we'll be able to chat and talk back and forth, and that'll be fun. So, again, I can't thank Chris Beam enough. A producer sits out here in this heat, and his patience has been unbelievable with us making this show and getting it going. And guys in the back, Josh Rodriguez, William Boykins, those guys have helped me tremendously too to try to get this thing going. So, all right, we're going to do it here for training camp in Oxnard. This has been the last edition of Cowboys Storyline, but we will see you guys when we get back to Frisco. Peace.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!